122, this mini lesson is on multiplying a 3-digit number by a 1-digit number, and then we will work our way up to 4-digit by 1-digit and then double-digit by double-digit, okay? So I will try to provide an example for each one through this mini lesson, okay? Multiplying is so important within the 4th grade. We see multiplication in just about every new lesson that we go in, fractions, measurement, problem solving, equations, you name it, we see multiplication pretty much everywhere. Okay, so we need to first make sure that we have our facts down, be fluent in those math facts. So then when we get to these types of problems, then they become a little bit quicker and we're not spending so much time trying to count on our fingers or look at a chart every time. So I encourage you during these days, if you have a little extra time, practice some quick facts, practice some math facts, okay? So we're just going to start with this 3-digit by 1-digit number, 299 times 2, and we are going to start by our ones place here, and we're going to move our way to the left, okay? So the first step in multiplying 3-digit by 1-digit is to, well, again, begin by going to your correct place value spot, which always we are going to start on the right-hand side, the ones place, okay? Same goes for addition and subtraction problems, okay? So we're going to start with 9 times 2. What is 9 times 2? 9 times 2 is 18. You're correct. So we're going to drop the 8 and we're going to carry the 1 up here. Okay, now we're moving on to our tens place. 9 times 2 is what? Oh, well, that's the same thing, 18. However, do not forget to add the 1 to the 18 that you carried over. So 18 plus 1 is 19. Drop the 9, carry the 1. Okay, last but not least, my 100s place. 2 times the 2 is 4 plus the 1 that I carried over. That is 5. So something you may have noticed is that every number up here in 299, you multiplied by 2, okay? So you are applying this 2 to each of your place value spots, okay? So my product is 598, okay? A way to check your work with multiplication is using the area model. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use it for this problem. I'm going to use the area model for a larger problem because that's when we tend to make our silly mistakes, is when our problems get a little bit more difficult. Our steps become a little bit more. And so in this case, it's a little bit more simple. We don't have too much going on here. So know that you could still use the area model to check your work for this if you want in the future, okay? And if you forgot how the area model works, I will put that up in a little bit, okay? And I am also looking at problems on page 15 in your iReady math packet, whether you're online or you have a math packet handy. This is from page 15, okay? I'm trying to make up my own problems so I can leave the rest to you guys so you could do them, and I'm not going to give you the answers. So I'm just kind of picking and choosing and making up numbers as we go, all right? So I'm going to do 432 times 3. Okay, we're going to start with the ones place. 2 times 3 is 6. Move on over to the hundreds place. 3 times 3 is 9. Last but not least, move on to your hundreds. 4 times 3 is 12. And all you need to do is just slide that 12 down here, and your product is 1,296. Okay? Pretty easy. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to turn my packet over and I'm going to page 16. This is multiplying a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number. So I'm just going to fix this title here. And I'm going to insert 4 instead of 3. And with 4 digit by 1 digit, you will be applying the same exact steps we just did in the previous problem, starting from the ones, working your way over by place value, okay? If you could do 3 digit by 1 digit, I know you could do a 4 digit by 1 digit, okay? So on page 16, I just want to briefly explain the directions because they might seem a little bit tricky at first, but it's really not that difficult. So listen to me read the directions, and this is what you're going to be doing when you get to page 16, okay? No rush if you're not there yet. It says estimate. Circle all the problems that will have products between 18,000 and 32,000. Then find the exact products of only the problems you circled. Show your work. So what's nice about this page is you're not doing every single problem. You are listening and following those directions that say to look for the ones that only have products between 18,000 and 32,000. So how will we ever know that? Well, let's look at the very first problem on here. It says 8,491 times 2. So how am I going to know if I even have to do this problem or not? Well, this is the way I would typically set it up. But when we look at the way the book, I'm sorry, not the book, but the paper has set it up, it has set it up horizontally, so we might be able to look at the numbers a little bit easier. Okay, and we should be able to see if this number here, the largest number 8 times 2, is going to give us anything near or in between 18,000 and 32,000. So without me even solving this whole problem, I am going to do 8 times 2. I'm going to pretend all the other numbers are covered. What is 8 times 2? Well, 8 times 2 is 16, correct? And so if that product is 16, well, is that product in between 18,000 and 32,000? So let's say this was 16,000. That is not in between 18,000 and 32,000. So I am not going to be doing this problem. Woohoo! So let's move on to number 2. Maybe this one I will actually get to do, huh? Okay. So you don't have to be writing all of these out to check to see if you have to do them. You can also cover up the numbers in between here and do a little mental math and say, okay, do I need to do this problem or do I not? So I'm going to now go to number 2, which is written like this. $6,148 times 4. Let's do the same trick. Cover up these numbers and let's just do 6 times 4. Well, 6 times 4 is 24. And if I multiply these numbers here, I'm going to say, because 6 times 4 is 24, that I'm going to probably come around to my product being around 24,000. That's just my estimate. So then when I look at the directions, is this in between 18,000 and 32,000? Yes, it looks like my product will be in between these two numbers. So I actually get to solve this one. Yay. So I'm going to move my problem along here, and I'm going to line up my numbers according to place value so I can multiply correctly. All right. Start from the ones place. 8 times 4 is 32. You got it. Drop the 2. Carry the 3. 4 times 4 is 16. You got it. Plus 3 is 19. You got it. Drop the 9. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus the 1 is 5. 4 times 6 is 24. You got it. And you just slide that down. So we were correct. 24,592, that is in between 18,000 and 32,000. So that would be a problem that you circle on this page and you show me your work and put the answer down on the blank line right there. Okay? All right. I hope this helped you with the directions on page 16. And so now I'm going to move along then I would like to look at the next page after that, page 17, two-digit numbers. Multiplying a two-digit by a two-digit. This is where it could get a little bit more tricky, and this is where we want to use what I like to call the turtle head method. Some of you may have remembered that really silly strategy of the turtle head method to multiply two-digit by two-digit numbers, but hey, it works, okay? So if you forgot the steps, I hope you're watching this video to bring some memories back to you. Okay, so with this page, this kind of looks like the page where we were adding multi-digit numbers and then we were estimating the sum. Now it looks like we are multiplying two-digit by two-digit, and we are putting the correct answer down underneath the student answer, and then we're showing our estimated work as well. And we're hoping that our estimated work shows to be close to our actual product so we can compare and say, all right, our estimation is pretty reasonable. All right, so I will look at this second problem down here. It is 15 times 19 on page 17. 15 times 19. Let's just work this problem out first and foremost, and let's use the turtle head method. Remember, in the turtle head method, the first step is to draw the turtle's head around the 5 and the 9, and then the 1, okay? I will add a little eye and a little smile, okay? It looks silly and funny. All right, so the first step is after you've drawn the turtle's head around the correct numbers, now you're going to multiply only the numbers in the neck, is what we say, okay? So what are my numbers in the neck? Well, my first step is to multiply the numbers in the neck going this way, okay? The 5 and the 9 first, I need to multiply. So 5 times 9 is 45, you got it? So you drop the 5, you carry the 4. Now, I still need to follow the rule. Continue to multiply all the numbers in the neck of the turtle. So I'm not done yet. I did the 5 and the 9. Now I got to go to the 9 and the 1. What's 9 times 1? 9, you got it, plus 4, 13. So now drop your 13 right there. All right, now we've covered this first part of the problem. However, we're not ready to move on yet because we need to do a couple things to help us be successful for the rest of the problem. We're not going to use this 4 anymore at all. So you need to just cross that out. You don't need that guy anymore. Okay, don't let him confuse you. Let's also put a little collar around this 9, showing we also don't need that 9 anymore. So don't use him in the rest of the problem, okay? Don't let him confuse you. Now we're ready to go to the next step. This is where we put our placeholder down, or we lay the turtle egg, as we like to say. So the turtle egg goes right beneath this 5 right here, and now we can continue to multiply. And what I like to tell you guys is I like to say, let's pretend that this turtle's head kind of did a little switcheroo and flipped over, and now we are finishing off with these numbers, okay? So we're now going to go diagonal here. We're going to go 5 times 1. What is 5 times 1? You got it. It's 5. And then our very last step, always, these two numbers here, multiply them together. 1 times 1 is 1. You got it. Now let's add. 5 plus 0, 5, 3 plus 5, 8, 1 plus 1, 2, we got 285. And hey, this matches the student answer that's actually on the packet here.